This is the Qtv Nightly News, which is also on Q Radio 103.3 FM, and I am Loliam Camara. Thank you for joining us. Here are the headlines. President Barrow on Wednesday addressed communities in Fonyi during a meeting in Nyantempo as he continued his nationwide tour focused on feeder road development across the Lower River and the West Coast regions. Gambian delegates at the WTO's 14th ministerial meeting in Yaoundé have welcomed the positive reviews of the Gambia's leadership as a least developed countries coordinator. To mark World Autism Awareness Day today, the Autism Society of the Gambia organized a march in Abuko to raise awareness and promote acceptance of people living with autism. Neo's Airlines touched down for its inaugural landing in Banjul on Wednesday, greeted by Gambia International Airlines officials and key stakeholders at Banjul International Airport. The University of the Gambia has inducted its first cohort of homegrown dental surgeons, a historic step that underscores the country's capacity to train its own dentists. Those were the headlines. Now the news in detail. Thank you for joining us. President Barrow says leadership is temporary, but national unity must endure, as he addressed communities in Fonyi during a meeting in Nyantempo on Wednesday. The president made the remarks while continuing his nationwide tour on feeder road development in Lower River and West Coast region. Alusise reports.
Day 5 of the tour began in the Lower River region on Wednesday, with the laying of the foundation stone for the road linking Sare Jama to Mina in Jara Central and drive-through inspections to the Kabada Loop and Kian West Road networks, critical links designed to connect rural communities to the Trans-Gambia Highway. From Kian West to Fonyi Jaron and Fonyi Bondali in the West Coast region, the president laid foundation stones for several new feeder roads, including Kamamudu to Kampasa, Wasadu to Bulengant, Bondali to Jorem Bundakunda, Burambang to Bambara, and Nyantempo to Bulunto. At Nyantempo, community leaders and residents gathered for a meeting where local authorities, including Nyantempo Alkalo Abdullah Jallo and Governor Usman Bojang, expressed strong support for the projects. They called on residents to remain focused on development and avoid distractions, emphasizing the importance of unity and progress.
My message to the farmers is to be excited about it, but most importantly, to give them courage that government is actually having a vision for them. So it's better for them to come together. If you look at the agriculture, the Ministry of Agriculture, we have a lot of cooperative unions within the agriculture sector that can come together to benefit from this. The reality is we have, the farmers can definitely take advantage to be able to do more. Because a farmer who is probably had to move his or her foodstuff, her produce, maybe 7-8 kilometers before, and then you have to do it on a horse cart, that would have taken you maybe a month or two to do it. Now you can do it within a day. So this is very, very transformative. I am so glad that they have this, but we'll just encourage them to take advantage of it so they can take advantage of the urban market, because most farming is coming from the rural area. So to be able to move the product from the rural area to the urban area, if you don't have the right tools to do that, because remember, every farm produce we have is a perishable item. So without having access to a good market, a right market at the right time, what you are doing is almost one step forward, two steps backward.
President Barrow reaffirmed his government's commitment to inclusive development. He stressed that Fonyi is an integral part of the Gambia and will not be left behind in national development, noting that out of the 204 kilometers of feeder roads planned, 68 kilometers are allocated to the Fonyi area. He also highlighted improvement in access to water, electricity, and road infrastructure under his government while calling for national unity. He reminded Gambians that leadership is temporary, citing former Presidents Jawara and Jammeh, emphasizing that while leaders come and go, the country must remain united. The tour concluded on Thursday across Combo North, Combo South, and Fonyi Bintang, covering additional road projects including Lamen Daranka, Gunju to Branding, and Tampoto to Jago Sebrek. Reporting for QTV News, I am Aliou Cisse.
Gambian delegates at the WTO's 14th ministerial meeting in Yaoundé have welcomed the positive reviews of the Gambia's leadership as Least Developed Countries LCD's coordinator. The country's Minister of Trade, Motke Cisse, was recognized for effectively leading and organizing high-level meetings among 41 member states to discuss key trade negotiations. And Sumana Esonyansi was in Yaoundé and now reports.
Member states expressed high regard for the Gambia's leadership as LDC coordinator at WTO MC14 in Yaoundé, thanks to the country's unwavering commitment to ensuring that the collective voice of LDCs is effectively represented in shaping global trade outcomes. From convening coordination meetings to leading bilateral negotiations on behalf of the 41 member states within the LDC group, the Gambia has displayed an admirable sense of responsibility and leadership which continues to cement the country's profile on the global stage. Reacting to these positive reviews by member states, the Gambia's Minister for Trade, Motke Cisse, Professor Mohamedou Ka, the country's permanent representative to the United Nations, WTO and other international organizations in Geneva, and Permanent Secretary Abdoulaye Diallo underscored the Gambia's role in fostering dialogue, building consensus, and advancing outcomes that reflect the shared aspirations of the LDC group for a more inclusive, equitable and resilient global trading system.
We took advantage of the platform provided and showcased the Gambia potential in the area of investment opportunities, but more so the planned industrial park that we are trying to develop at the middle of the Gambia, and that is in LRR. It's very significant because it is massive, and we are putting a lot of components.
We negotiate, we engage on their behalf on a diversity of issues that we are looking to get outcomes, whether it is in agriculture, whether it is in fisheries, whether it is in IFDAs, or whether it is in trade facilitation, whether it is on digital trade. The Gambia coordinates on behalf of all these least developing countries.
While acknowledging the challenges of leading and navigating the complexities of key trade negotiations, they reflected positively on the country's performance at MC14 and thanked member states within the LDC group for their trust and support.
Investment is also critical because unless you invest and produce the goods and services, you will not be able to trade as well. So they are linked, but there are pushback, especially coming from our Western partners.
So it is significant because, as you know, we live in a very challenging times in the world. Economies are suffering, but trade is central in terms of uplifting people and bringing shared prosperity and development and growth for our country.
Peace is our biggest asset. And we don't have a lot of natural resources, but we are able to leverage on this piece to attract a lot of investments in the country.
Since assuming leadership of the LDC group, the Gambia has earned strong praise as reflected in the positive reviews from several member states, particularly at MC14. From forging new alliances to leading complex negotiations with representatives of more advanced economies on expanding trade opportunities, enhancing technical collaboration, and addressing structural barriers that hinder the full participation of developing countries in global markets, as well as convening dialogues to highlight avenues for bilateral cooperation, particularly in the areas of trade infrastructure and innovation. Gambian delegates have once again reinforced the country's standing as a leader on the global stage. Reporting from Yaoundé, Cameroon, Ansmane Sonyasi for Qtv News.
In commemoration of World Autism Awareness Day today, the Autism Society of the Gambia organized a march past in Abuko aimed at raising awareness and promoting acceptance of people living with autism across the country. Yafatu Gay tells us more.
World Autism Day is observed annually on April 2nd, following its designation by the United Nations in 2007. The day is set aside to increase global awareness about autism spectrum disorder, advocate for the rights of individuals with autism, and promote their full participation in society. The chairman of the Autism Society of the Gambia, Rod Hawes, emphasized the importance of understanding people with autism, noting that awareness is the first step towards acceptance and meaningful inclusion.
And people with autism are not weird, they're not strange. They're just different, like every person who's disabled. They're different. They have different skills. They see the world in a different way. But then a lot of able-bodied people, see the world in a different way. But everybody thinks that's normal, okay?
The president of the society, Mas Jallo, called for continued collaboration among stakeholders, including government institutions, civil society and families. He stressed that sustained support is essential to improve the quality of life for people living with autism.
Your presence today here is a testament to our commitment to this cause. Let's come together to champion autism acceptance, inclusion and support for individuals and families affected by autism. Thank you for joining us on this journey.
Dembaba, Permanent Secretary at the Ministry of Gender, Children and Social Welfare, said initiatives like the March is a vital role in fostering inclusion and breaking down stigma surrounding autism in Gambian society.
Your support amplifies the voices of parents, caregivers, advocates, ensuring that autism is not a hidden struggle, but shared responsibility for all and sundry.
As the Gambia joins the rest of the world in marking the day, advocates hope that increased awareness will lead to stronger policies, better services, and a more inclusive environment where individuals with autism can strive. Reporting for QTV News, this is Yafatige.
We'll now go for a commercial break. When we return, we have more national news stories. Do stay tuned. Welcome back, and this is QTV News, and I am Lolly M. Camera. Neos Airlines touched down for its inaugural landing in Banjul on Wednesday, greeted by Gambia International Airlines officials and key stakeholders at Banjul International Airport. The Italian airline aims to boost tourism and strengthen the global connectivity. Usman Jada has more.
The 189-seat Boeing 737 of the Italian carrier has launched a weekly service linking Rome, Dakar and Banjul in partnership with Gambia International Airlines, aiming to strengthen air connectivity between West Africa and Europe. A ribbon-cutting ceremony on the tarmac finally marked the launch of Neos Airlines operations in the Gambia, followed by a reception at the XL VIP Lounge, where speakers emphasized the strategic importance of the partnership. The Director of Air Transport, Omar Njai, commended Neos for choosing the Gambia as a destination and assured the airline of continued institutional support.
On behalf of the Director General of the Gambia Civil Aviation Authority, to mark the official inauguration of Neos SPA, a direct flight from Rome to Banjul. Today's event represents more than the arrival of an aircraft. It symbolizes progress, partnership, and new opportunities for the Gambia.
Neos, a subsidiary of the Alpitor Group, operates a modern fleet including Boeing 737 and 787 aircraft across more than 80 destinations nationwide. Officials say the new route is expected to boost tourism and improved international access to the Gambia. A Deputy Managing Director of the Gambia International Airlines, Babakar Usman O, described the partnership as a symbol of progress and strategic cooperation, positioning the Gambia as a key aviation hub in the sub-region.
We are happy to be chosen by Neos to be their ground handler at the Gambia International Airport. Neo present in the Gambia will bridge gaps connecting Banjul and Italy, and also fostering stronger ties in tourism and business.
CEO of Air Rep Services, Musa and Omar Sise, Senior Station Manager at the GIA, both welcomed the collaboration.
this is another addition to make our airport as busy as we could. Our objective is to make Banjul International Airport one in the sub-region, and we will not be tired of doing that.
And I wish NEOS all the best of luck, and we wish to see more than one flight a week to the Gambia from NEOS.
Ibrahima Cham, a representative from NEOS Senegal branch, emphasized the airline's vision of promoting the Gambia as a key European tourist destination, building on its experience expanding operations in Senegal from one to multiple weekly flights. Industry experts also expect the partnership to offer capacity-building opportunities for the Gambian aviation personnel through exchange programs with NEOS operations in Milan. With optimism rising across the sector, the inaugural flight represents more than just a new route. It opens doors for increased trade, tourism, and international collaboration. Osman Jatta, QTV News.
The University of the Gambia has inducted its fourth cohort of 9 locally trained dental surgeons, marking a historic milestone that highlights the country's growing capacity to train its own dentists. Julden Jai reports.
For years, dental services in the country have been limited, relying on a small number of practitioners trained abroad, mostly serving urban centers. The new graduates will now undergo a mandatory 2-year internship at the Edward Francis Small Teaching Hospital, gaining hands-on experience before entering full professional practice. Dr. Mustafa Bite, Chief Medical Director of Edward Francis Small Teaching Hospital, and part of the country's first batch of locally trained medical graduates, reminded the new dentists that being pioneers comes with responsibility.
The path is not always drawn for you. There will be no footprints for you to follow. There will be people who doubt, and there will be moments where the path seems unclear. But remember this, you have a good precedent. You have people to look up to, and the hospital will be standing poised to support you.
Dr. Melville O. George, Chairman of the Medical and Dental Council of the Gambia, congratulated the graduates and highlighted the need to serve a population where many still lack access to basic dental care and often rely on unqualified practitioners.
The Council is very much concerned with the plethora of dental services operating illegally with social media networks, advertising with untenable promises and success. Council is on the move to address these practices.
Professor Mustafa Fane, the chairman of the University of the Gambia Governing Council, encouraged the graduates to continue learning, remain open-minded, view challenges as opportunities, and think innovatively beyond conventional limits. Professor Herbert Robinson, the Vice Chancellor of the University of the Gambia, acknowledged the challenges and high cost of establishing a dental school, given the specialized clinical equipment required, and expressed gratitude to the government for investing in the program.
You are a direct product of this investment in human capital to support the Gambia government's national health policy. Your education was fully funded by the labor and taxes of your fellow citizens. And that is a debt of gratitude you must repay through excellence and compassion in your practice.
Professor Pierre Gomez, the Minister of Higher Education, Research, Science and Technology, also addressed the graduates.
I know some of you are already satisfied, happy with what you've seen at Faraba. The one for the School of Medicine will be better than anything that you've seen at Faraba. The ministry, the Gambian government, the Gambian people, we were not fair with the School of Medicine and Allied Health Science. They were the first. But when we were building the Faraba, we ignored them. Not one, but two.
Certificates and prizes were presented to outstanding students. Reporting for QTV News, I am Julden Jai.
The Human Genetics Awareness Association, HUGA, marked its inaugural World Human Genetics Day in the Gambia, an initiative aimed at raising awareness and improving public understanding of human genetics across the country and the wider African region. More in this report. There is currently no globally recognized World Human Genetics Day, and HUGA is working to inaugurate one, leading to the hosting of this event. The global initiative is designed to increase awareness of the role genetics plays in health, disease prevention, and treatment, while also highlighting its impact on society. At the opening ceremony, founder and chairperson Seynabou Laye underscored the importance of public education and community engagement in genetics.
And I founded it during my time at Oxford. And it was because I was thinking, at such, you'd call it an excellent research institute, how do we bridge that gap between the excellence we're learning and the communities where we come from? But also, not only in the community that I come from, but globally. You can start small, let's say Gambia, Africa, and then globally. How do we build that? So HUGA is that intersection between the research and the community.
The Minister of Health, Dr. Ahmadou Lamin Samate, describes human genetics as a critical yet often overlooked component of public health in Africa.
Africa is the most genetically diverse continent on Earth. The genetic variation present in African populations is greater than in any other region of the world because humanity's oldest roots are African. We are, in the deepest biological sense, the original library of human genetic diversity. I look forward to the day when the inaugural World Human Genetics Day held in the Gambia is recognized formally by the international community, by the World Health Organization, by UNESCO, by the United Nations, and other important international organizations, and equally local organizations. That work begins today. Gambia has planted the flag.
Pediatric surgeon Dr. Chorno S. Jallo and Professor Gabriel Ogun shared insights on the topic, highlighting ongoing research efforts in the Gambia and Tanzania. The inaugural World Human Genetics Day in the Gambia concluded with renewed calls for collaboration, research and education, strengthening awareness of genetics in health, disease prevention and treatment across Africa. For QTV News, Lolem Kamara. In a bid to strengthen emergency response and improve coordination within the security sector, the Gambia Fire and Rescue Service on Wednesday inducted its newly appointed senior officers at a ceremony in Banjul. Yafatu Gay reports.
It is our fire service. It has grown from police fire service to Gambia Fire Service, to Gambia Fire and Ambulance Service, to Gambia Fire and Rescue Service. It is our service.
That was Roger Bakure, a retired chief fire officer who served the service for over 3 decades. The ceremony officially appointed Masane Eskeba as chief fire officer and Yaya Sonko as deputy chief fire officer. It drew senior officials from across the nation's security institutions, underscoring the significance of the occasion. Newly appointed chief fire officer Masane Eskeba expressed his gratitude for the confidence and trust placed in him.
As I assume this office, I do so with full awareness of the expectation and responsibilities carried. I am committed to upholding the highest standards of professionalism, discipline, service excellence, together with the dedicated men and women of GFRS.
The Gambia Fire and Rescue Service plays a crucial role in responding to fires and disaster-related incidents nationwide. Demba Sow, Deputy Inspector General of Police, emphasized the need for closer collaboration among all security agencies to enhance service to the nation.
There is no competition. There is no force man go. There is an aspect of collegiality and working towards achieving an objective, a goal. That is a national goal. And you cannot achieve national goal in isolation.
Ibrahim Mboub, Director General of GID, and Landing Koli, who represented the Ministry of Interior, encouraged the new leadership and called on the public to support them as they assume their responsibilities.
I call on each and every senior officer, check into your role and your staff to task. You are not working for him. You are paid a salary. Each of you, and I urge and call on to you, in your pillars, in your respective job area, design your own plan and deliver, not for him, but for the people of the Gambia.
Your experiences and vision will undoubtedly elevate your fire and rescue service, thus ensuring our communities are protected and resilient in the face of emergency.
The induction of Masana Eskeba and Yaya Sonko marks a new chapter for the Gambia Fire and Rescue Service, promising strengthened emergency response and greater collaboration among national security institutions. Reporting for QTV News, this is Yafat Gay.
That's all we have for you in this news bulletin. Do join us again tomorrow for more news. Thanks for watching.